Hey, beautiful Libras, I just had to come share this reading with you because the energy that came through today was just so powerful and honestly quite surprising. I was sitting here with my cards this morning, thinking about all the messages I've been getting from Libra energy lately, and there's this consistent theme that keeps coming up about obstacles and working through them together. So I shuffled my deck and asked specifically what Libras need to know right now about these situations where something is blocking the way, but both parties genuinely want to work it out. And let me tell you, the cards that came through were not what I expected at all, but they make so much sense when I really think about it. The first card that practically jumped out at me was the Four of Swords, and I have to pause here because this is fascinating. Most people would expect some dramatic card about conflict or obstacles when we talk about things blocking the way. But the Four of Swords is telling us something completely different. This card is about strategic rest, about taking a pause, not because you're giving up, but because you're gathering your mental resources. What's happening for many of you Libras right now is that the obstacle isn't actually external drama or someone being difficult. The obstacle is mental exhaustion from trying to figure everything out all at once. You know how your Libra mind works. You want to weigh every option, consider every angle, make sure everything is fair and balanced. But sometimes this creates a kind of analysis paralysis where you're both so tired from overthinking that you can't actually move forward. The Four of Swords is suggesting that the breakthrough you're looking for might come from stepping back temporarily, not avoiding the situation, but giving your mind some space to reset. I keep seeing this image of two people who are both exhausted from trying to solve a puzzle together, and they keep making the same mistakes because they're mentally drained. Sometimes the solution comes when you both agree to sleep on it and come back fresh. This is particularly important for Libra energy because you tend to think that taking a break means you're not committed to finding a solution. But the Four of Swords is saying the opposite. Taking a strategic pause is part of the solution process. It's about recognizing that clarity comes better when you're not forcing it. The second card that came through was the Queen of Pentacles, and this one really surprised me in the best way. When we think about working through obstacles, we often focus on the emotional or mental aspects, but the Queen of Pentacles is bringing in this beautiful, practical energy. She's the queen who gets things done not through drama or force, but through consistent, nurturing action. What I love about this card appearing here is that it's showing me that the way through these obstacles isn't going to be some big dramatic confrontation or emotional breakthrough scene. It's going to be through practical, everyday actions that show care and commitment. The Queen of Pentacles represents someone who proves their love and dedication through tangible efforts, not just words. For many of you, the person you're trying to work things out with needs to see that you're serious through your actions. And vice versa, you need to see their practical commitment too. This might look like someone consistently showing up when they say they will, following through on small promises, creating stability in practical ways. The Queen of Pentacles energy is about building trust through reliable, nurturing behavior over time. I'm getting this strong sense that whatever is blocking the way between you and this other person, it's going to be resolved through demonstrating commitment in the physical world, not just talking about it. This could mean anything from helping with practical problems, being consistent with communication, or simply showing up reliably when you're needed. The third card absolutely blew my mind. It's the Seven of Cups, and at first I thought, wait, this seems counterintuitive for working through obstacles. Usually the Seven of Cups represents illusion, confusion, too many options. But as I sat with it, I realized this card is revealing something crucial about what's actually creating the obstacle. The block between you and this person isn't a lack of options or solutions. It's that there are too many possible ways forward, and you're both getting overwhelmed trying to choose the perfect path. Classic Libra energy, right? You want to make the fairest, most balanced choice, so you're considering every possible scenario and outcome. But the Seven of Cups is showing me that this abundance of possibilities is actually becoming the obstacle itself. You're both paralyzed by choice, and meanwhile, no actual progress is being made. The card is suggesting that sometimes you have to pick a direction and move forward, even if it's not the theoretically perfect solution. What's beautiful about this is that it shows both people are genuinely invested in finding a way through. Otherwise, you wouldn't be considering so many options. The problem isn't lack of care or commitment. It's that you care so much you want to get it absolutely right. But the Seven of Cups is gently reminding us that perfect is often the enemy of good enough. I keep getting this image of two people standing at a crossroads with multiple paths ahead, and they're both so focused on choosing the ideal path that they're not walking down any path at all. Sometimes the solution is to pick the path that feels most aligned and trust that you can adjust course as you go. The fourth card that came through was the Three of Wands, and this one gave me such a warm feeling because it's all about collaboration and shared vision. After the confusion of the Seven of Cups, the Three of Wands represents that breakthrough moment where you both finally align on a direction forward. This card is traditionally about partnerships, planning, and looking toward the future together. What I love about it appearing here is that it confirms that yes, you absolutely can work through whatever is blocking the way. The Three of Wands shows two energies coming together with a shared vision of what they want to create. I'm seeing that the obstacle phase is temporary, and once you move through it, there's this beautiful collaborative energy waiting on the other side. The Three of Wands suggests that working through this challenge together is actually going to strengthen your connection, whether this is romantic, friendship, or professional partnership. The key insight from this card is about expanded perspective. When you're in the middle of an obstacle, it's easy to get tunnel vision and only see the immediate problem. But the Three of Wands is encouraging you to zoom out and look at the bigger picture of what you're building together. Sometimes when you remember the larger vision, the current obstacle seems more manageable. This card is also about patience and long-term planning. The solution you're looking for might not be immediate, but it's definitely coming. The Three of Wands energy is confident and optimistic about the future, which tells me that whatever you're working through with this person is worth the effort. The fifth card was the Knight of Cups, and this one made me smile because it brings such a different energy to the reading. While we've been talking about practical solutions and strategic thinking, the Knight of Cups reminds us not to lose sight of the emotional truth underneath everything. Sometimes when we're focused on working through obstacles, we get so caught up in problem-solving mode that we forget to honor what we're actually feeling. The Knight of Cups is that romantic, emotionally honest energy that says, hey, don't lose sight of why this relationship matters to you in the first place. This card often represents someone who leads with their heart, and I'm getting the sense that part of working through your obstacle involves being more emotionally authentic. Maybe you've both been so focused on being reasonable and fair that you haven't been fully expressing what this connection means to you. The Knight of Cups is encouraging more vulnerable communication. Instead of just discussing solutions and logistics, there needs to be space for sharing what you're actually feeling about the situation. Sometimes the breakthrough comes when someone finally says, I care about this working out because you matter to me, rather than just, let's figure out how to fix this problem. I'm also getting that this Knight energy represents renewed romance or emotional connection once you work through the current challenge. Like the Three of Wands, this suggests that the obstacle phase is leading somewhere beautiful. The Knight of Cups promises that the emotional bond between you will actually be stronger after navigating this together. The sixth and final card that completed this reading was the Nine of Pentacles. And honestly, this card gave me chills because it represents such a beautiful resolution. The Nine of Pentacles is about independence within partnership, achieving your goals, and creating something valuable that you can be proud of. What I love about this card appearing as the final energy is that it shows the outcome of successfully working through your obstacles. You don't just get back to where you started, you actually create something better than what existed before. The Nine of Pentacles represents mastery, accomplishment, and enjoying the fruits of your efforts. This card is telling me that working through this challenge together is going to result in both people feeling more confident and self-assured. Sometimes obstacles are actually opportunities to prove to ourselves and each other what we're capable of when we commit to finding solutions together. The Nine of Pentacles also represents abundance and luxury, which suggests that whatever energy you're putting into resolving this situation is going to pay off in ways that exceed your expectations. You're not just fixing a problem, you're upgrading the entire dynamic between you. I keep getting this image of a garden that has been carefully tended through a difficult season, and now it's blooming more beautifully than ever before. That's the energy of the Nine of Pentacles, the reward for patience, consistent effort, and not giving up when things got challenging. So, putting this all together for you Libras, the message is so clear and honestly quite hopeful. Yes, there's something blocking the way right now, but it's not an insurmountable obstacle. The cards are showing me that both you and this other person are genuinely committed to working it out, which is actually the most important ingredient for success. The process is going to involve strategic pauses when you need them, consistent practical actions that demonstrate commitment, making decisions even when you don't have perfect information, collaborating with a shared vision, staying emotionally honest throughout the process, and ultimately creating something even better than what existed before the obstacle appeared. What struck me most about this reading is how the cards kept emphasizing that this challenge is actually an opportunity in disguise. It's a chance to strengthen your connection, prove your commitment to each other, and build something more solid and beautiful than what existed before. The obstacle isn't there to break you apart. It's there to show you what you're capable of when you work together with genuine care and commitment. And honestly, that's such a beautiful message for Libra energy, because you're naturally gifted at creating harmony and balance, especially when both parties are willing to participate in the process. For those of you resonating with this reading, I'm curious if you're feeling that sense of hope mixed with determination. The cards are really emphasizing that this is absolutely workable when both people are committed to finding solutions rather than being right or avoiding discomfort. The energy feels like spring after a long winter. Things have been difficult, but growth and renewal are already beginning. Trust the process, trust each other's commitment, and trust that sometimes the most beautiful connections are forged through working through challenges together rather than avoiding them.